Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Julie and I own a small business called Foxy Arrow Designs. I love all things crafty and that's what my business is about. I have an Etsy shop under Foxy Arrow Designs. I started that shop doing macrame, kind of home decor with coasters, things like that, and then also earrings. I'm starting to branch that Etsy shop into more crochet related items. I've been crocheting for many years. I was taught when I was younger by my mother, and I don't know, around like 7 or 8 years old. So I've been doing that for 30 plus years. So I've just gotten into Amigurumi, making kind of small plushie items. But then I also have an obsession for making dishcloths and things like that. So today I wanted to just hop on, introduce myself, let you know that this is my first kind of YouTube video in this arena. I had another YouTube video, just a small one, I didn't have many subscribers, about thrifting and things like that. But since those two things are completely different, I figured I'd just kind of start a new channel where this channel is going to be mostly crochet. It might be a little bit of other crafty things like macrame, cross stitch, anything like that, but mostly it's going to be crochet. And also, I don't like editing, and I'm not a very good editor when it comes to YouTube just because I don't have a lot of experience. So I'm going to try to shoot this in like a one and done, things like that, or maybe snippets. So this portion of the video, I think I'm just going to start off by showing you what I've crocheted the last few months that I haven't been able to part with yet, just because I like them too much, and so I just kind of like to look at them, and I haven't put them up for sale yet. And then also I rent a small booth space at an antique mall here in Florida, and so this weekend I'm going to restock my booth with some vintage antique items and then also some of my crochet goodies. So the booth that I have is kind of half and half. I do like 50% kind of antiques, vintage, and then the other is more like kind of my macrame and crochet things. So and then I think going in the future, I will probably do not necessarily market prep videos, but I'll probably do like antique booth prep videos, which is kind of the same thing. And then I was thinking I could kind of maybe like every 2 weeks or something like that, you know, kind of go over what I've sold, like what I've restocked and what I'm bringing to my booth, and then also what I've sold in the last couple of weeks. So it's going to kind of be similar to like markets, but it'd be booth, which is kind of the same thing. I rent my antique booth for $105 a month, and it's a 6x8 space, and I can do, you know, what I please with that space. So for $100 a month, I'm getting a lot of interaction in the mall, just with everything that I put in there. So that's really exciting. So enough talking. Let's just jump in today's video. So my thought process was that I could show you everything that I've done. I'm either going to keep here for a little bit just because I'm not ready to sell. And then other items I am taking to my booth this weekend. Also, if you see me looking down at my computer, I have, I'm starting a, what's it called? A Google Sheets doc that I'm going to link in the description of this video. So if you have any questions about patterns or who the creator is, things like that, you can go to this Google Doc. It'll be a link. So then when you click that, it's going to list out kind of what I've titled each of these items, where I found the pattern title, pattern creator, and then the link. 99% of these items are paid patterns, and they are from Etsy. They might be free elsewhere, whether, you know, people have done a, you know, YouTube tutorial or other platforms with blogs and things like that. I'm not a big tutorial person just because I'm really impatient, so I'd rather just buy the pattern so that I can, you know, either have it on my iPad or I can print it off. So just because these are paid patterns in the list that I'm going to put down below doesn't necessarily mean that there's not a free version of that somewhere else. So just keep that in mind. So I'm just going to kind of go through, and I might go through the way I have it listed on my Excel sheet here in front of me, just to make my life easier, just so I don't, you know, just so I don't mess anything up, which I probably will. All right, let's get started. So this is something I am going to take to my booth this weekend, and it is the cutest, and this is a new pattern. I've only made just this one, but I'm going to make a ton more. This is just a mini potted rose, and I did find this on Etsy. I think I found it on Instagram, but the pattern is paid on Etsy. It's by Minnie's Crochet Friend, and it's super cute. So this is stuffed. You work the pot and then this little bit of dirt here. And then you do have to sew on the leaf. And then the rose part is kind of crocheted into the round. It's really cute. I love this. I'm gonna make a bunch of these. I'm gonna make some for here at home. Also, she lists in the pattern at the very end that you don't necessarily have to even crochet the pot if you don't want to. You could just crochet the flower itself and just make the stem longer, which I think would be really cute. So I plan on doing that. But I love this pattern. Again, it's from Minnie's Crochet Friend, and I'm definitely gonna do a bunch more in these pots, as well as just crochet the flower by itself with a long stem, and I'll probably do it in a bunch of different colors. So definitely go check this out. Oh, also, I'll try to let you know what kind of yarn I've done this in. I don't have all, I mean, I could look, but that'll take forever. If you have questions about specific colors or yarn that you see in this video, just send me a comment, and then I'll comment with whatever the answer is to that. So this was out of Bernat Blanket. I think it's a mixture of Bernat Blanket and Bernat Baby Blanket. I know this is Bernat Blanket. I can't remember the color. This is like a dusty purple. This is Baby Sand for the dirt. This is Misty Green, which I've had a really hard time finding. It's a really pretty kind of dusty teal color. I can't remember if that's Baby or just a regular Bernat. And then this is a mauve color, which is Bernat Baby. Love this. I definitely recommend this pattern. Go check it out. And I think this also came with another flower. I think it was actually it comes in a bundle. I believe I just purchased the rose. So you can purchase the patterns individually by the different flowers that you want, or you can purchase it in a bundle. So check that out. I'm gonna put these, and if you see me bending down, I'm just gonna put these in a little basket down here so I know that I've covered it. Okay. Next one. Okay, so I saw this on another, and forgive all the fuzzies, I haven't gone through and taken all the fuzzies off everything. So this is a little crow. I actually saw this idea on another YouTube video that I was watching, and I believe her name is Heather from Cottontail something or other. You know what's funny? Every time I watch a video and somebody doesn't know, like the creator or something, I'm like, oh, how do you not know? And now here I am saying I can't remember, but it was Heather from Cottontail something or other. And she purchased, so Stacy from Stacy Makes has a YouTube channel. I love her videos. She has an Etsy shop and probably some other things called Apple Tree Boutique on Etsy. And I purchased her Sitting Birds 2.0 pattern. And this is the seagull pattern. And I got this idea from Heather from the other YouTube video I watched. So literally just followed Stacy's from Apple Tree Boutique, her seagull pattern, and I just changed the color. So I just, did the black and then the gray. And these are, I don't know what they're called. These are eyes that I got off of Amazon, and they come with the little glitter discs in a bunch of different colors. I didn't even put a disc behind it, but I thought instead of just using like the normal black, plain black safety eyes, I thought by kind of putting these in there, it gives it just a little pop. Like there's no color, but it kind of shows a little bit better than if I would have used just plain black safety eye. Love this pattern. I love how it sits. They all sit. And again, she has a bunch of different patterns. I love all of her patterns. I've actually purchased a few of hers. I've purchased her skunk pattern, which is a really good seller in my booth. I've also purchased, what else did I purchase? I don't remember. But again, definitely recommend this pattern. Again, it wasn't for the crow. I just used the seagull pattern and just changed the colors. And I believe it was in a bundle of 4 different birds. Again, the listing will be linked below. And again, this is from Stacy Makes with Apple Tree Boutique. Love this. This is the first time I'm gonna bring this to my booth, but I'm so sure this is gonna sell really fast. I'd be surprised if it lasted the weekend. So super cute. And then I made a couple of these leggy frogs in 2 different colors. Oh, I should have said that the crow that I made was in Bernat blanket yarn. And I usually use, if I'm using Bernat blanket, I usually use a 6mm hook for that. That's what works best for me. If I'm using like a Parfait Chunky, a Premier Parfait Chunky, I usually use a 5mm. And I have a couple of items I'm going to show here later that have the Parfait Chunky. But these were both in Bernat blanket. This was like the old Bernat blanket, or what everybody, I'm assuming, calls the old version. It's just kind of thicker and just a little bit harder to work with, but it's the perfect little leggy frog pattern or color. Love this. And this pattern is from, again, I purchased the pattern off of Etsy. It's the leggy frog pattern from Celestial CB. And super cute. Love that. So kind of on that note, I wanted to make a little bigger leggy frog. And so, uh-oh, I just lost one of my guys. Okay, time out. I need to get that before my dog thinks that's a play toy. Okay, I'm back. So I was talking about this, and so I kind of winged this a little bit based off, like, you know, all the leggy frog patterns out there. I've purchased so many, and I've done the free ones. I love the pattern that I just showed you, so I definitely recommend that. And it's skinnier, the one that I just showed you. This one's a little bit chunkier. The way I changed it up, though, is I have a really hard time, especially with this old Bernat, when they do the bobbles, that when I put my safety eyes in it, I just feel like the safety eyes aren't going to be secure and they're going to fall out, or they're going to get lost in the plushie. So I kind of came up with my own little leggy frog here, and this is just all single crochet. I didn't do any sort of bobble stitches around the eye. And then just to get this little indent, I literally took like a piece of yarn, came through the back, came up through this stitch here, then over to the front, back, and just pulled it down just to give it a little bit of an indent for the eyes. So I did that, and I personally like this a little bit better, just because, like I said, I have trouble with the safety eyes on the other patterns that use bobble stitches. I just feel like, I don't know, either I'm doing something wrong or they're gonna fall out. So I think I'm gonna start making a lot of these. What else? Oh, and then I just changed up the arms. Instead of doing like slip stitches down the legs, I just did single crochet. It's easier. So similar item. So I made 2 of these little guys, same yarn, Bernat blanket. Yep, super cute. I think this will sell really well. And I also live in Florida, so I think a lot of these like little animals and things like this will sell pretty good in my booth, just because we have a million frogs everywhere. So that was great. Let's just do this one, because this is the one that just fell on the floor. I might be jumping out of order here. Give me 1 second so I don't lose my spot. Okay, so this one, let's see. Oh my gosh, this is the one I didn't did not get the pattern for this. Okay, we're gonna put that, you know what, time out, let me find it. Okay, I'm back again. All right, so I went and grabbed my iPad in case I run into this issue again, so I can look up, since I'm using my phone, I couldn't look up on Instagram to see where I found this. So this is actually a free pattern that I found on Instagram, and it's super adorable. It's a little duck, or a little chick. I think the pattern actually says duck. I think it looks more like a chick. I mean, ignore the fuzzies on the head, but it's really cute. And then this little frog hat is removable. I love this. I think it's going to be perfect for springtime and Easter. I think I did add an extra row in this, which I don't know if I should have now because it's kind of airy here at the top, but but I followed the pattern to a T. I think I just added an extra row in the hat, which I don't know if it really needed it. I just did because I thought that it needed to cover its little head a little bit more. But great pattern. It's free. And like I said, I think it looks more like a chick in a frog hat, but I think the pattern itself is called duck with a frog hat. It's on Instagram. It's free. And I found it on _stitch_creations Instagram page. In the description of the picture that she posted, she said it's a collaboration between her and lavender_crochet. It's actually lavender._crochet. Very cute pattern. Recommend this. Didn't take very long at all. I think it'd be really cute for markets. Did use a little bit of yarn, but I love this pattern. Definitely recommend this. Yeah. Oh, Bernat blanket, I believe. Bernat blanket, and I think I used 15mm eyes for these. 15mm and probably 12 for the little duck or chick. Okay. Next on my list. Okay, I love this. I love this, especially living in Florida. I think these are gonna sell very well. This is something new. A lot of these are new to my booth, so I will let you know how they do in my booth. Again, I'm in Florida. These are little baby alligators. I think these are 10mm eyes I used in these. They're very small. This is Bernat blanket. This is a no-sew pattern. This one, let's see. This one I found on Etsy. It's a paid pattern. It's called Baby Gator. It's by Hooked Crochet by Carlina. I think that's how you say it, or Carlina. Hook Crochet by Carlina. Again, the link will be in the Google Doc. And so I made 3 of these little guys. I think the color of Bernat is perfect. I think this is in smoky green. Yeah, I remember looking that up because I put it in on my label for my antique booth. Very cute. Made 3 of these little guys. I'm hoping these sell. Yeah. Okay. Next, this one is a paid pattern. This is a little fish, and found it on Etsy. It's Bellamy and BB Butterfly Fish by Stitch Sister Co. And this is in the Bernat Mystical. I think it's pink quartz. The Mystical line, I mean, like everybody is saying, is one of my favorite lines. It's really hard to find right now. The last time I went to Michael's, I found a few. I hope they carry it in stores. I like to touch the yarn when I go to places. I mean, certain brands don't really matter, but I've noticed that for Bernat blanket, I like to touch and feel it. And also I've noticed if you look on the label where it says like made in China or made in India, 99% of the times, if it's made in India, it's really soft and it's really great to work with. And then if it's the made in China version, it's just, I don't know if that's that old formula or what it is, but it's just a little bulkier, kind of harder to work with. So I typically try to find the ones that say made in India. Obviously, some colors you just can't find that where it says made in India, like the tweeds and things like that over here. And I just buy that just because I like it and I just know what I'm getting into when I work with it. But yeah, so love this pattern. Very cute, very easy. No-sew. Also, I should say I'm a big no-sew fan just because I'm lazy, and also anytime that I've ever tried to sew on something, it doesn't turn out the way that it should. It's either crooked or I don't know where to put my stitches it's just an issue. So I would prefer to either do no-sew or crochet directly on the body of something. I just think it looks better for my skill set. Even though I've been crocheting for a long time, I'm fairly new to amigurumi. I've only been doing it maybe for a year now. So yeah, love this. Definitely check it out. Very cute pattern. And I think it comes with a bunch of different versions in the pattern. Yeah, check it out. And then next, so then I was so again, this is just me playing and just trying to winging it, trying to make a more kind of chunky little fish. Bernat blanket. I don't know if I like it. I was just messing around. Again, I was trying to get some like aquatic things. I think people will like this. So I'm just going to throw this in my booth. I didn't write this down just because I'm not super happy with it, but I think he's cute. Again, I just made this up kind of based on the pattern that I just showed you. I was just trying to mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to throw that in my booth as well. Okay. Now we're going to go to this side. Okay, so I started this forever ago, and it is the cutest thing ever. And this is in Premier Parfait Chunky. Can't remember the color specifically. Again, like I said, if you have questions about specific colors, just leave me a comment, and then I can go. I don't cake my yarns. I don't have a little winder, so I usually keep the labels just so I know what the color names are called. But this is the bloom, so I did the wings in the bloom. It's super soft, very cute. Again, this is a no-sew pattern. Yeah, I can't remember. I started this so long ago, and then I just finished it, I think, last month. But I believe you crochet these first along with the wings, and maybe even the antennas, and then you just crochet them into the round, and you start from the bottom and then you go to the top. These are, I'm not quite sure how big these are. This is from a pack that I got off of Amazon, just plain black safety eyes. This pattern is a paid pattern from Etsy. It's called Fly Baby, and it's by Crochet by Kitten Girl, and it's Crochet by Kitten, GRLL. So I'm assuming it's girl. Very cute, love this, great pattern. It did take obviously a little bit of time. This is one that I'm not ready to part with quite yet. I just kind of keep it in my office on my piano just to keep me company. But I would definitely make this pattern again. Very much recommend it. And I used a 5mm hook with the Parfait Chunky. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is kind of a shameless plug. So the next one is a bee. So this is my pattern, and like I said, I have an Etsy shop. It's called Foxy Arrow Designs. You'll see that there's a lot of macrame kind of ready to ship things that I've made, like earrings and coasters and things like that. I'm just starting to put some crochet patterns on there, so check it out. So this is my pattern. It is Polly the White-tailed Bumblebee. And I tried to make this little bee kind of in the shape of a real bumblebee. And so it's a no-sew. And so you crochet the wings and the little legs before, and then you crochet them into the round. Am I doing a horrible job? Sorry, I'm looking at the bee versus what I'm showing you guys. And then at the end, you just crochet these little antennas on. So I think I have this, the pattern listed for $4.44. Check it out if you think this is cute. And so I made this little guy, and I made it out of Bernat blanket. And then also, I already have one in my booth that has white wings. So this is a pattern you can kind of switch it up. You can do it in crazy colors. You don't necessarily have to give them a little white bum. You can do it and, you can rotate the colors, do it yellow, whatever you want to do. So love this little guy. Does take a little bit of time. I mean, not forever, but it takes a little bit of time just because you have to have all these little pieces and things like that. But no sew, and it is on my Etsy shop. Again, it's Polly the White-tailed Bumblebee, and I'm Foxy Arrow Designs. Okay. And then next we have, okay, this is another one that I started and then I just finished, and oh my gosh, I love this pattern. It does take a while again, but the outcome is perfect. I made it in Bernat blanket, 6mm hook. I believe I used 15mm eyes, and just look how cute that is. The pattern does do little toe beans or claws or whatever. I opted not to do that. I think you embroider them on after the fact, and I thought he looked cute just by itself, so I skipped that part. This is an Etsy paid pattern. It is called Ace the Alligator, and it's crochet with Kyra, Kyra. I think that's how you say that. Ace the Alligator crochet with Kyra, and super easy pattern. Definitely recommend this. Again, I'm assuming this will sell very well in my booth. I'm having a hard time parting with them because I've only made the one. I'll probably make another. If I put him in my booth, I'll just make another one for, to keep here with me. A lot of times when I make patterns for the first time, I usually try to keep the first one just because I'm learning, and then the second one's usually easier and better. So I might keep this one and then make another one for my booth. I haven't decided yet, but love this. Definitely recommend this. Okay. Okay. Next little guy is a whale. And again, this is a paid pattern from Etsy, Harbor the Whale by the Crochet Code AU. I love their patterns. I have several of their patterns. They have a lot of no-sew patterns, very easy. This is in Bernat Blanket again. I've made a few of these. I made the first one in Parfait Chunky, which I think I still have over there. I think that was the very first one I made. Obviously, Parfait Chunky comes out smaller because that was with a 5mm hook, and then also Bernat Blanket's bigger just in general, and I use a 6mm. So I've made it in Parfait Chunky, and then I also made one in the Bernat Mystical line, the pink that I just showed you with that little fish. I made that one and gave it to my mom when she came to visit last year. And then I made this one for my booth. I was trying to figure out, you know how sometimes you just make a bunch of stuff and then you forget what patterns you have, and you're like, all right, what do I have that's just easy? I don't want to think too hard, but it comes out pretty cute. This is one of those patterns. Again, it's Harbor the Whale, the Crochet Code AU, and it's a paid Etsy pattern. And again, I have a bunch of her patterns and I love them. Very easy, and a lot of them are no-sew. Okay. All right, the next one, oh, I forgot to take the tag off. So the next one has been with me for a while, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's, and I don't think I have it priced too crazy. I had it in my booth. Actually, that is true, but that's not where I started. So I actually did a couple markets last year, one in October and one in November. And it was an indoor market here in Florida, which I've done outdoor markets for other things, not crochet related things, but for like my macrame business. And I'm just not a fan of outdoor markets. And that was in other states. That was like in Colorado and things like that. Especially here in Florida with the heat and everything. Outdoor markets are not my thing personally. I love the idea of them. It's just there's too many things. The wind was always an issue, rain, things like that. Everything was always just all over the place. So I did a couple markets last year here in Florida. They were indoor. Loved it. If I ever do a market again, I would definitely do an indoor market. They provided the tables, chairs, excuse me. All I had to do was show up with my stuff and set up, and it was great. I don't think the crowd was the best for my items, which is fine. It was kind of like an oddities market, which was really cool. They had a bunch of cool vendors there, but just what I was presenting, I tried to make some creepy and odd things, but my vibe is more cutesy, kind of farmhousey, rustic, things like that. So anyway, so this little guy started going to those markets, and I think I had him priced at maybe $45, $35, which, do you see how big this is? This is ginormous. So I thought that was great, but again, I don't think it was the crowd. I think, it was mostly young kids and things like that just wanted to grab like something under $20. So this went to a couple markets with me, didn't sell. So then I put them in my booth for the last couple of months, and I marked it down. I think I started it at maybe whatever I had it at, 45, 40. And then I had it marked at 30, and still nobody bought him. And so it kind of made me sad, and it does take up a lot of space in my booth, so I brought him home. So now he's kind of hanging out on my piano in my office until I decide whether I just want to keep him or put him back in my booth. I don't want to keep marking him down, and because I just think he's worth it. I mean, this was a no-sew pattern, so this one, let me get down here. This one is the Mama Caterpillar. I found it on Etsy by Crochet Grove. And this pattern also came with a mini caterpillar, which I've made, and I already sold that one in my booth. And the mini one I made out of Parfait Chunky, and which was, I don't know, maybe like this big or so. This one's made out of one of those cakes, I think they're called Bernat cakes. And so it just, the color changes happened wherever the yarn changed. And so I love this guy. It's no-sew, you know, you crochet all the little leggies and the antenna, and then you crochet it into the round. I love this guy. So I think I'm just going to keep him here with me. But yeah, super cute. Definitely recommend this pattern. It's definitely a showstopper. You can make it in all different colors. I think I was just, honestly, when I bought it, I didn't realize how big this was going to be. And so once I started, I can't remember if it started with the head, and I was like, oh my goodness, like what did I get myself into? But love the pattern. It's very easy to follow. I definitely recommend it, and it would look so cute in a bunch of different colors. So yeah, again, Mama Caterpillar by Crochet Grove. Love this guy. And then I should also say, when I show you things and the pattern that I bought and the link that's down below, I may be missing something, because a lot of times when I buy a pattern like that one, it was for the big version, but then it also comes with a little version. So just because I'm showing you the big version doesn't necessarily mean that's the only thing that comes in the pattern. So check it out. What I like to do when I see a pattern that somebody shares, I usually go check out that pattern, and then I usually go to the full page and see what other patterns that creator has on their Etsy page or Instagram or whatever it is that they showcase their stuff. So definitely check that out. Alrighty. All right, we're getting towards the end, so we're almost done with this video. Okay, so this is another cute little guy. I just purchased this one a couple weeks ago. It took a little bit of time, but it worked up really easy, really fast. This one is Curly the Pig by 1 and 2 Company. And this is in the Bernat Mystical yarn. The pink, I think it's called Pink Quartz. Very cute. I think this was, so you crochet the little legs on, no, I made that up. You crochet the legs, and then you crochet them into the body, and then you make the little snout part, you sew that on. And I think, I'm not sure if I did the ears per the pattern. I think they may have had you crochet them and then sew them on, and I may have cheated and just crocheted some right on the body. I can't remember what I did. So just when you look at the pattern, if the ears look a little bit different, I may have kind of did my own thing on this. I can't remember what I did. Again, like I said, because I'm not a fan of sewing. I think it's just because I'm not used to it. And I'm just not very good at it. So I probably with some practice, I'll get better. But so love this little guy. Turned out really chunky, really cute. Again, I don't know if I want to part with this one quite yet. Since it's the first one that I made, I might make another one and put it in my booth. Oh yeah, I should say, so these are the little eyes I was telling you about. I just got these off of Amazon a couple weeks ago, and it's just the safety eyes that are kind of the clear on the outside, and then it has the disc, the glitter discs with all the different colors. And so I just picked blue glitter for this one. Very cute. Again, that one was Curly the Pig, 1 and 2 Company. Okay, let's see, what else do I have in here? Okay, this little guy is the cutest little fox pattern. This is a no-sew fox pattern by Nooks Hooks Shop on Etsy. It's a paid pattern. Again, no-sew. I worked this up in Parfait Chunky. Love this pattern. Don't have anything negative to say. You know, I don't have anything negative to say about any of the patterns. If there's a pattern that's just not my favorite, doesn't mean that it's somebody else isn't gonna like it. You know what I mean? Like everybody likes different things. Everybody has their own style. So if I have a pattern that wasn't my favorite, I'll tell you it wasn't my favorite, but there's nothing wrong with the pattern. That's just a personal choice. So I love this. I love this little pattern. Worked up really cute, really fast actually. Just has some color changes, really easy. Let's see. And again, this was a Nooks Hook Shop on Etsy. And I think I used, that looks like 12mm eyes, just plain safety eyes. I'm just starting to venture into the glitter eyes and things like that. I don't paint my eyes, or maybe one of these days I'll get into that. But Usually I just use the black safety eyes on everything, and like I said, I just ordered some of those glitter discs off of Amazon with one of those little tools to put it on since they're so hard sometimes. So I did get one of those, and that does help with the bigger eyes. So again, love this little guy. I'm probably keeping him. He was one of my first Amigurumi items, and I was super proud of it. And I mean, he's made really well. I probably could have stuffed him a little bit better, but, and with my business name, Foxy Arrow Designs, sorry, that was my little puppy hacking below me. Foxy Arrow Designs. I feel like I need to keep, you know, some fox as decorations. So probably going to keep that little guy for a little bit. Okay. I have a few more things I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this next thing, and then I have just some random things that I just want to show you real quick. I won't get into too much detail, just because they are going to go to my booth, and I think that's going to be kind of some videos in the future. Instead of market preps, I'll do booth preps, and I'll kind of show you, hey, this is what I'm bringing to my booth, like this video. And then this weekend when I go, I might take some footage of me restocking. Again, like I said, it's a mixture of like real like antique and vintage stuff plus my crafts. So I'll kind of show you that, what I'm restocking, and then some other videos can kind of be like, how did I do? What did I sell this month? And things like that. And if I get really creative and figure out how to edit, then I can kind of post pictures how people do, saying, hey, I sold this, because a lot of times I still don't have pictures of them. So I'll try to get better at editing and things like that. So, all right, so we have one more on my list, and then the rest are kind of random things. So the next one, and I'm sure you guys all know this pattern. So it's a little loaf kitten, and it's by Annie Caraway Art, and you know, she's the one with the popular big loaf cats. I sold a bunch of those when I had my markets last year. I think I have one left, but I think somebody dropped it on the ground because its little paws are dirty, so that one's staying with me until I can clean it. But again, the larger loaf cats are really cute, sold pretty good. Again, I don't have a lot of patience. Okay, my dog's messing with boys. Stop. Get over here. They're running into my camera. I'm so sorry. It's gonna make you guys seasick. Get over here. Okay. Annie Caraway Art. This is the 8-in-1 Kittens and Minis pattern. And so this one, I believe, I think it's just the smallest one in the pattern. I can't remember. I'll have to look. But I love these. Everybody loves these in my booth. In my booth, I only charge $12 for these, which I don't know if that's a good price or not. That's something maybe we can all discuss later. Where I'm at, I don't usually charge high dollar stuff for all of my items. One, because I do it every day and every day after work, and so it's kind of my therapy, so I enjoy doing this. I do have a full-time job that I do, you know, Monday through Friday during business hours, and then in the evening on the weekend I crochet. So this is kind of like my little side business. So I like to crochet, so I don't like to price my stuff super high just because I want it to move. Do you know what I mean? But also I'm not pricing it super low. I do have these priced currently in my booth for $12 each. I probably could ask for more because when I put them out, they don't last the week, and I usually put out 4 to 6 at a time. So I made these. These are all in, most of them, 3 out of the 4 are in Bernat blanket of some sort. And so this is the Mystical. He's super cute, love him. This one is in a frosting. I think it's Sunday Times frosting. I only know these names because I was creating my labels for my antique booth, and I like to put the colors on my labels so then I know which ones sell. This one I think is Beach Foam. And this looks like a Mystical, but it's not, but it feels like a Mystical. I love that little guy, and you can kind of see his light whiskers and nose. And then the black cat. Everybody buys the black cat first, so I probably should make a handful more of these to put in my booth because they just fly off the shelf. And this one I did include some little green glitter eyes. I don't know if you can see that. I thought that was cute, so somebody's probably going to snag him very quickly. So again, this was the 8-in-1 Kittens and Minis pattern by Annie Caraway Art on Etsy. So cute. I love this pattern. And what's funny, I just shared this pattern with my mom. And she's making a couple kittens right now too. And what's funny is my sister came up with the idea of all of us starting Amigurumi, and then for some reason I became obsessed with it, and now like that's what I do. And my mom and sister, my family's from Ohio, and so they live in Ohio. And so every time I see them, I go there and I kind of collect some of their items that they've crocheted, and I put them in my booth and sell them for them. And then next time I see them, I'm like, hey, it's payday. This is what you sold. So my mom was making a couple of these kittens yesterday and this morning, so that was kind of cool. Okay, so that's that. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. I have no idea. Oh, we're at 26 minutes. That's not too bad. That's only for this portion of the video. I did record. What did I record? I recorded kind of reorganizing my yarn wall behind me because with Joann's going out of business, I did restock. I have like 3 of their garbage bags here right beside me that I absolutely have no room to put that yarn, and most of it's Bernat blanket. So I do have a clip of a video of me putting together those plastic storage things and kind of reorganizing my yarn and things like that. So I have like most of my parfait chunky over there, along with loops and threads, and then my Bernat and kind of everything else behind me. Oh, I should say this black was loops and threads. Very soft. I prefer this black and loops and threads over the black and Bernat blanket. I mean, black is hard to work with no matter what, just because you can't see the stitches, but this was so soft to work with. So I usually do the black kittens out of that. Okay, all right, let's wrap this up. So another few things, not gonna go into detail. So another big seller in my booth are crochet dishcloths. And this is, you know, when my brain hurts from work, or I don't wanna do anything and I can't think straight, or I'm tired or whatever, my go-to are crochet dishcloths. And so lately I'm obsessed with just the variegated colors. I did a lot of solid colors, and so now I just kind of stocked up on a bunch of different variegated colors. And this is usually I use like a sugar and cream or Big Twist, which we all know, Big Twist. And then I have used the Walmart version, which is something, I can't remember what it's called. It's very similar, but it's 100% cotton. I use a 5mm for this. I kind of experimented with different patterns, but again, when I don't want to think about a pattern, this is all double crochet. Very easy. what do? I chain, I think 30, and then starting in the second chain, I do double crochets all the way across, and then I think I chain 2 and then just keep going back and forth, and I do 16 rows, and then I do a border of single crochet all the way around. That's all I do. It's nothing fancy. I only charge $5 for these in my booth, but here in Florida, they go like hotcakes. Everybody loves them. So I have them in a bunch of different colors. I won't talk too much about these, but I just wanted to, I think they're cute. And I like when I fold them all up and I put them in like little baskets in my booth. I just think they're just cute. And I have 2 of those. So I got a bunch of those. I got a couple more. I just want to show you the colors just because. That little guy. Little pretty pastel. I got 2 of those, 2 of the 2 pastel pinks. This kind of reminds me of like the 70s or something. Doesn't it look like I think it's called like retro or vintage or something. And this little guy. So yeah, those are cute. I love making those. Very easy. That's what I do. Oh, and then I made a random scrubby. I've made these before. I haven't sold them just because I don't like working with this yarn. I've made a couple. I made a couple for my mom. She doesn't use them. She just puts them right by her sink. She thinks they're cute, so she just, and then, my mother-in-law, I gave some to her a few years ago, gosh, like 3 or 4 years ago, and she still uses them to these days. Like, she says it's the best scrubby she's ever had. So I could probably find the pattern. Maybe I can find the pattern and put it in my Google sheet here, but it's double-sided, so it's like you make 2 and then you just crochet around. But it's I think it's like Scrubology yarn from Hobby Lobby. Comes in some bright, pretty colors. It's just not my favorite to work with. And again, I don't think you could charge much for this. So this is, I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth my time. So I made 1. So I think I'm just gonna either use it for myself or throw it in my booth for a few bucks. And then to end, I'll just kind of show you a little twirly. So I was showing you or telling you about how my Etsy shop, a lot of it is macrame related, just because that's what I started out doing years and years ago. On the Etsy shop, I should say. I just started doing macrame, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 years ago? And I've done coasters and wall hangings and earrings and paper clips and a whole bunch of different things. But anyways, I'll show you real quick. It's not crochet related, but I have a little twirly with a bunch of different earrings I'm gonna bring to my booth, all different colors. I don't know if I have this style on I'll just show you. So I have like this size. I don't know if I have this style on my Etsy page. I need to download them on my Etsy page. They're really easy to make. I'm just gonna show you the other sizes I have. So I have like a small size and like a larger size. They're kind of cute, boho. Again, these don't sell very well in Florida. I don't know what it is. When I have them on my Etsy shop, a lot of people are buying them from like Texas or like the southern states, not Florida, Midwest, things like that. I don't know why, but everybody doesn't like them here in Florida. Like I have a hard time selling them, and I think they're really cute. And I have them in a million different colors. So though I'm gonna bring those to my booth tomorrow too, or this weekend, I should say. But I think that's it. Let me know if I forgot anything. Also, thanks for being patient with me. Like I said, I've done YouTube before, but it's been many years, and it was like a different thing with thrifting and stuff. So if you've hung out this long with me, I really appreciate it. If you like this type of video, and I want to see what I come out with in the future, which will be, like I said, more videos like this, maybe like a day in the life vlogging, booth setup, booth prep, that sort of thing. Maybe a market here or two if I feel like doing it. But yeah, if you like that kind of thing, you know, like and subscribe to this video and this channel. I would really appreciate it. And also I'm gonna put this link to my Google Sheet in the description of the video. If there's anything I've missed, or if you have a question about colors, or if there's something you want me to add to the videos going forward, like some sort of informative information, that would be great. Let me know. But yeah, I just want this channel to be happy vibes, easy going. I don't want any, you know, I love suggestions and things like that, but let's all be nice. I know just lately in some of my videos that I've watched of other people and things, people just get kind of nasty sometimes, and that's not why I do this. I do this for fun, you know what I mean? Like this is it's like crochet therapy. So I want the channel to be fun and lighthearted. So if you have suggestions or questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And thanks again for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.